Now, what is a state? Like India is divided into a number of states and union territories, but in political science, we use state in a different terminology. Yeah, we use it differently. Like many scholars have defined state in a different manner. Like, for example, Bluntschli, a scholar, has defined state as the state is the politically organized people of a definite territory. Then there is Woodrow Wilson, who says state is a people organized for law within a definite territory. So basically, a state consists of people who are living together in a within a definite boundary, but they are living in an organized manner. So this is state. So there are many more scholars. You can read it in your chapter, who have given various definitions on state. Now, state exists for the sake of a good life. Now, we all know that man is a social animal and man cannot live alone. So, people live together to fulfill their social needs. Now, there are all kinds of people who are living together. There are very good people also, very kind-hearted people also, but there are other people who have some negative qualities also. They are greedy, they are selfish, they are jealous. So, all kinds of people live together. So, now we obviously, man is living together because he needs, a society to live into. So, but since different types of people live together, so they have to be bound by rules and regulations, because there are some people who might not behave in a positive manner with everyone. So there should be some rules which bind all the people together in a common behavior, and if these rules are broken, then they should be punished, right? So this is what a state is developed for. The state is for the sake of a good life. Like people are living together. Now they need to be organized and disciplined so that nobody gets hurt because of anybody else. So state does that duty of organizing people living in a definite boundary. If there is no organization, if there are no rules, if there are no authority, then the people who are living together, that is, they are forming a society, that society will not be able to be held together. So that is why a state exists where human beings live in an organized society. Now, what are the elements of the state? The state possesses 4 essential elements, that is population, territory, government and sovereignty. Now the first element that makes a state is the population. Yes, it is the people who make a state. So population makes a state. Now how big should the population be? It should not be very large and it should not be very small also. It should just be large enough so that it is able to be governed properly. It is able to, it should be self-sufficient. The population should be in proportion to the land available and the resources available. And plus one more thing, that the quality of population is also very important. A state requires healthy, intelligent and disciplined citizens. The next element which forms a state is the territory. Now there is no state without a fixed territory. Living together on a common land binds people together. The territory may be large or small, but the state has to have a definite land. The quality of land is also very important. If the land is very rich in minerals and all the natural resources, then obviously it will make the state economically powerful. And plus the state should be able to provide enough food for the population. Now, the third element which makes up a state is the government. Now, the people living together should be organized and they should accept certain rules of conduct. Now, the government enforces these rules of conduct which is to be followed by the people. Without a government, the people will lack unity. There will be different groups who have a similar nature. They'll form their own groups. So there'll be many groups. The people will be divided. So a government is must, right? And so the state cannot exist without a government. And there is a need for a common authority to where people live. Now, the fourth element that makes up a state is sovereignty. Now, sovereignty means supreme power or authority. So, now people living in a definite territory and also having a government does not mean they have formed a state until and unless they have the supreme power or authority. Like in India before 15th August 1947, everything was there, all the elements of a state were there, but India did not have sovereignty, it did not have the supreme power or authority, therefore it was not a state. So sovereignty is the supreme power by which the state commands obedience from its people. So every state must have a population, a definite territory, a government, and sovereignty. Your chapter ends here. Now please go through the chapter once more and try to do the questions. Thank you.